And now, CCW News presents Holy Crap! This is actually happening! Unhappy Humpday edition, March 30th, 2022. I'm Chuck U. Farley. The big news this week is King Brandon's attempt to end Putin's assault on Ukraine by threatening a regime change. He also made it clear that a nuclear strike is still on the table. I swear, I am not making this up. Biden was left with little recourse after he threatened, quote, "It is going to be a disaster for Russia if they further invade Ukraine," end quote, then really sucked it to Putin by destroying the U.S. economy with record inflation, massive job losses, and food shortages. Biden's toothless threat is, of course, a complete reversal of his declaration this January that the United States would not be the first to strike an adversary using atomic weapons. The White House went into DEFCON 3 damage control mode by immediately issuing multiple statements asserting that Biden didn't say what he said. When Biden doubled down on his statements, even while holding a cheat sheet with notes directing him to not say what he said, I swear I am not making this up, the White House changed tactics and announced that the leader of the once most powerful nation on the planet doesn't mean what he says when he doesn't say it and then says he means it and won't apologize for saying it. The assertion is a step up, however, from when he threatened to nuke his own citizens for wandering around the Capitol the previous January. Redditors from the online community r/Volunteers for Ukraine felt it was their patriotic duty to help out Ukraine in its time of crisis. Rather than fundraise for refugees, volunteer with humanitarian programs, or do anything useful, they packed their Cheetos, Mountain Dew, and rainbow flags and headed to a Ukrainian mercenary base in the northern Zhytomyr region to LARP as action heroes. Shortly after arriving, the Redditors posted several selfies on social media to brag about their virtue while whining about not getting proper supplies or weapons. The base, now easily located using those social media posts, was almost immediately hit by Russian high-precision missiles, killing more than 100 Ukrainian special ops troops and foreign volunteers. Now that's some influencing, folks. The world continues to reel at just how many sanctions could have zero effect on a Russian dictator. Adding to the useless pile, the European Tree of the Year competition banned this year's Russian candidate. The International Federation of Firefighters immediately showed their support by announcing that they will no longer save any Russian cat breeds from any Russian trees. So there. Biden's latest diversity hire not only has a soft spot for pedophiles, she can't even define her own gender. If she doesn't know what a woman is, then she can't be celebrated as the first woman of color on the Supreme Court, which means Biden must immediately find another candidate who meets his sexist and racist qualifications. The rest of the nation would prefer a candidate who actually qualifies for the job, but that's not what this administration is about. Remember, folks, this is the same regime that celebrated Women's History Month by honoring Yuri Kochiyama, the radical activist who said, quote, "I consider Osama bin Laden as one of the people I admire. To me, he is in the category of Malcolm X, Che Guevara, Patrice Lumumba, Fidel Castro," end quote. Qualified indeed. Well into 2 years of the 14-day shutdown, the power-drunk tyrants who orchestrated the whole mess are so impressed with the ease of global capitulation that they're calling to make it an annual policy. Sure, they say continued ineffective draconian lockdowns will further destroy the world economy, education, and health, not to mention cause severe food and supply chain shortages, but it can all be mitigated by eating lentils and putting veterinarians out of business. Do your duty, keep it fruity, and let your pets die for the big guy. While sanctioning Russia into the Dark Age, this administration is taking the opposite approach with genocidal dictatorship of China. Late last week, Biden's U.S. Trade Representative announced that the U.S. would eliminate tariffs on 352 Chinese products. While 301 of these products are currently made domestically, creating millions of jobs and making us less dependent on Chinese imports at a time when foreign supply chains are iffy at best, these successful tariffs must now be lifted according to the Biden regime's sweeping Orange Man Bad, America Last policy. Seriously, folks, why have one rogue warmongering, slave-holding dictator getting massive funding from U.S. taxpayers for biolabs that, at any moment, can unleash yet another pandemic when we can free up 3 or 4? Let's face it, folks, this news is all big, huge, world-changing. We could literally be starved into homelessness while facing nuclear annihilation. But what's trending in all media right now? Hashtag the slap. For CCW News, this has been Holy Crap! This is actually happening. I'm Chuck U. Farley. Good night, duck and cover, and may God help us.